Today in this session we will cover about class component. In our previous session we have discussed about function component. For example, when you are trying to create a React application, it uses a React DOM library. It uses a special function called render, and this function is capable of rendering all the components on the React web page. When creating a React component, you must always use the uppercase letter. The component always includes the extend keyword followed by react.component. It inherits all the React component and gives your component to access all the functionalities of React component. In this React component, we have a render method that is used to return the HTML. Class components are basically ES6. Similar to the functional components, class components will also have props as an input and it returns the HTML. Apart from the props, class component will also have state. At the end of the session, you will understand the difference between the functional and class component. Now let us jump into the editor. Let us go into the editor and we will try to write the code. Now let us define the class component. For this, I have created a folder users. I have right clicked on the source and have created a folder called users. In this users, I am trying to create a new file. I am trying to save the file name as users.js. First one, users.js. In this, I am trying to define the first one, the class component. Let me write the import statements. In this React DOM, I am trying to use two import statements here, which we will be using in the class. I am trying to take users. The class component should always extend the React component. When we are trying to use extends keyword, it has all access of this properties of this React component, all the functions. In this, I am trying to use a render. In this, I am trying to write div hello Johnny. Now, in order to export this one, we will be using export default the class name. You can write any other class name. It is not recommended to use the same class name, but whatever you are trying to use, whenever you are trying to import in the other file, you should able to write the same file name. For example, I want to import it here. Then I will be writing import users from, what is the folder name we have? Users followed by users. In this, as initially we have a hello world here, I am just trying to erase it and I am trying to write the component name. We are trying to create a class component today. This is the example of simple basic class component. It is trying to extend the react.component, which gets access of all its functions, and it is using a render method to display this HTML. Now let us use the thing. In source src, it is trying to use something like it is unable to use a keyword. We haven't used a keyword called return. Yes, it is done. Hello Johnny. So this is how we have done with a basic class component. Once you open the output in the browser with a localhost 3000, you should able to type npm start, then you will be getting the output. In the line number 2, as we have didn't use this statement, it is of no use here. It is trying to give a warning. Now it is fine. In the browser we will get localhost 3000, then you will get hello Johnny. Now if I want to write the two different statements here, like if I want to write two divs, you will get an error saying that JS elements JSX element should be wrapped in the enclosing tag. Now let me take another file. Let me take the function component. Let me take a new file now, and I am trying to write the same thing, user.js. In this I am trying to write import React. I am trying to import the package here, and in this I am trying to use function component. I'm trying to write here arrow function as we have discussed in the previous session. In this I'm trying to return a small JSX element, user. Now if I should able to export it. Export default the function component name, and I will be importing it here. What is the import we will be writing here? User, yes, user from user. So let me check the output of the snippet. Yes, we got users here. Now let me erase this one, and I will be writing the component name here. What is the component function component name we have? User. Now let's check the output. Yes, we got user now. Now if I want to make sure, I should able to print the same thing again and again. If I want to call the same component, what is the thing I can write here? I can write the same element. See here. Let me check in the browser. Yes, we got it thrice. Now for example, if I want to pass something in the user, I want to pass some properties in the function components, then what I can write? For example, see here I am trying to write some name. I am trying to pass some name. I am just trying to pass some name here. Let me pass some name here, John. User, and I am trying to write the same thing. I'm trying to pass Neha here. So I'm trying to do these things. If I want to use these properties, if I want to make sure, let me check the output in the browser. No, it is not getting affected. Now if I want to use this thing in the function component, we should able to use something called props. In this we should able to display these things. So I can write props.children. Props.children. So once you have written props.children, automatically, I'm trying to save this. Yes, we got it. Now if I want to make sure, I should able to write some other properties, like I'm trying to write some age here. In this I'm trying to write some age equals to 20, age equals to 40, and age is equals to 60. I'm trying to write this thing. What will be the output of the snippet now? We should also use props.age. Yes. Now we got the both values. Let me write something in the more meaningful way. Name, age. For example, you can check this output. For example, if the age is not defined, for suppose if the age of John is here, it is not defined, what happens? Let us check the output in the browser. It is empty. If I want to display something there, I can write a ternary operator, like saying let age followed by prop dot age, props dot age not applicable, or I'm trying to use this thing. Now as we are trying to pass it directly using the variable, let's check. Yes, we got it. It is not applicable. So this is how we define a class component. So this is how we have defined a class component. We are trying to use the function component as well. In our next session also we will try to discuss more about this props so that we can understand it much clearly. So today we have just done with the basic how to define a component, the class component, and we have used the previous session class example of function component, and we are trying to make use of it, and we are trying to display the values here. Generally, if you see this example, you will understand the difference between the class and the function component. Whenever you are trying to write, for example, whenever you are trying to write, you can see here props is automatically available when you are trying to use in this class component. In this class component, props is already available, whereas in the function component we need to pass it as an argument. In the class component we will be using a state. We will be discussing in the further session. We will be using of a state, whereas in the functional component we will be not using of a state. We will not use a state, whereas in the function component we don't have any this keyword, and it will not have any state, as we have discussed. And in this it is very difficult to maintain the different states, that is maintaining and debugging will be very difficult. We generally call this functional components as stateless components, whereas for the class component it will have its own private data, as well as it provides different lifecycle hooks. So in this session we have just discussed about a component for a user. Let us look into a presentation part so that we can understand much clearly. Now this is the presentation we are trying to see. As I told you, this component must start with uppercase letter. It will be extending react.component, and it requires a render method. In this I am trying to render this output in the root container that is defined in index.html. Here the class component name is student. So output of this snippet will be, hi, I am a student. That is a JSX notation. Now let us look into the next slide. For example, if you can see in the next example, the class component name is employee here, and we are trying to use props. As I told you, in the class we will have this keyword, so we are trying to access this employee class component properties id employee name, and it will be rendered in root container. We have defined this in everything in an employee.js file. Now let us differentiate between this function component. This is how we write, as we have discussed, whereas for the class component we can write like this. By now you will understand the difference between function and class component. In the further sessions we will cover more examples also. Let us have a quick overview of what is a component now. We have done the previous session, like we have used, this is the demo, which is a class component. We are trying to render it, so we will be getting hello, hi. We have defined in two different files here. For example, if you are trying to use the same different code, like we will be, as I told you, we will be getting something called JSX elements must be wrapped in the enclosing tag. So this is how we have done with a class as well as the function component. If you have any queries, do drop us a mail or comment below this video. Thank you.